Good day. It's Small Biz David here, and welcome. Welcome to truly a very exciting milestone day of my life, and we'll share with you why in a moment. You heard me, you've been hearing me talk about my video book for probably 6 months now, and it's been a tremendously exciting journey and experience for me, and it was absolutely a right business decision for me to get involved in publishing a video book. And I've had tremendous support for this project from folks like Vivek, who is on screen today. And welcome, Vivek. Vivek is my personal engineer developer. Well, he does work for other folks, but he does work for me. I don't care about the other folks, Vivek. I just care about what you do for me.
Yeah.
And I have to say that, and you're going to see a lot of his work today in this HOA. In a little while, I'm going to have Vivek take us on a field trip, if you will, of our website, dreamingwithentrepreneurs.com, a website that we made the business decision, and it was driven by Vivek and his saying, David, I think this is the right thing for you to do. We developed that as a Google site. It's hosted on Google servers. I don't think I'd rather be on any other servers in the entire world than Google servers. Is that right? Well, I'm sure I know you agree with me on that one, Vivek. It was your recommendation, and in developing our website, when it came to making a technology decision of how were we going to really execute our video book, it was pretty clear. It's pretty clear that it was going to be hosted on a website, a Google site, and we were going to relate it, keep it as closely aligned, if you will, as we could to our dreamingwithentrepreneurs.com site. So we'll go into that discussion in a little while also. But welcome, Vivek, and I want to publicly thank you for all the wonderful work that you have done for me. As well, you know, but the rest of the world doesn't necessarily know that everything I do is inside of Google. Everything. I don't spend too much. Well, 99.9% of what I do in life, my business life for sure, is inside of Google. Actually, it's 99.99, I think. It's only my personal life that I step outside of Google sometimes. But I have not found anybody, Vivek, that knows or understands Google technology. And there are people, but you are a master at applying that technology and understanding how to use it and make it work for you. And you have created efficiencies.
Thank you.
Well, the thank you is okay, but you made it happen. It's just your understanding, and something really interesting has been evolving here, and I need to talk about that concept of small business collaboration, which is absolutely the most important tenet of the long-term success of a business. You have to have a business strategy, you have to have a business model, you have to have an idea, you have to have an idea that somebody wants. but you need as much collaboration for all of those things as you possibly can to be successful in your business. And Vivek and I have formed a very unique small business collaboration. I'm the marketing, sales, and strategy guy, and Vivek is the technology and development and engineer in our relationship. And I have done things to assist him in the growth and development of his business, and he certainly has done many, many things to assist me, in the growth and development of my business. And that's what small business, that's the heart, the foundation of small business collaboration. And I have to say, for those folks who have come inside our Dreaming with Entrepreneurs and Google Plus community, we are built, our mission is small business collaboration, and our vision is how do we do it? How do we make it happen among those businesses who are members of our community? Okay, so I actually made the decision based upon a message that Vivek had sent to me before I went to bed last night. And when I woke up, I saw the message, and we were trying to figure out how and when we were going to announce the announcement that we're going to make today. And Vivek said, well, why don't we just do an HOA? You know how to do an HOA. You know how to set one up and produce it. So why don't we just do it that way? So I literally made the decision at 3 o'clock this morning, which is about 9 hours ago, my time, that we're going to do an HOA to make this announcement. So the grand announcement is that today we are publicly launching our video book. How do you answer these 100 plus questions about your 2015 small business? Vivek, I've got all kinds of props today. All kinds of props. Now, what I did just from the cover design, and it's a very, very simple cover design built upon a cover design that was a little more complex. In 2007, a designer friend of mine here in Cincinnati where I live, Andy, if you're listening today, I don't think you are, but if you are, thank you for creating the original design of how do you answer these 749 questions about your small business. This is a book that I wrote in 2007, the fourth quarter of 2007, and actually publicly introduced it on January 1st, 2008. And I said, you know what? The concept of what I'm doing today and what I did 7 years ago is essentially the same. It's just we're publishing it differently. That's the only difference. The content, the theme is exactly the same. We're using today's technology, and I'm leveraging the expertise of Vivek and him assisting me in making it all happen. And it's been a wonderfully exciting journey. But before we talk about today's book, I want to share with you, I have to share with you, those other publishing experiences in my life where I had a day like today. And because there's an evolution. There's an evolution that actually started in probably January of 1974. That I was in the publishing business, not by design, but by circumstance. And it was a wonderful. I mean, I didn't know the impact and the magnitude of it at the time it was happening, but it was a transitional change in my personal life that got me into publishing. And so in early 1974, I bought a publication from my mother, actually, for $10,000. There was no negotiation whatsoever. I did it because my grandfather, who overheard a conversation between my mother and myself, said, "David, that's what you're going to do." I said, "Okay, you're the boss, Grandpa. What you say, that's what I'm going to do." So that got me started in the publishing business. Uh, Early in my publishing career, I said to myself that there were two things that I wanted to do in my lifetime. I didn't know when they were going to happen. There was no timeline necessarily, but they were going to happen. And that was I was going to start a publication from scratch to see where I could go with it. Uh, I had bought a publication that got me into the publishing business. Actually, it was my second step in the publishing business. I was involved in a partnership, a business partnership in publishing the year before that. But I wanted to start something from zero. I wanted to come up with an idea, and I wanted to build a business case around that idea, start a publishing business, publish a magazine. And I did that. I did that in January of 1978. I published this magazine, and this is actually the cover. Vivek, I don't know that I've ever shown you this. Um, this is the cover of my magazine from January of 1978, first edition, premiere edition. And do you know what a densitometer is, Vivek?
No, no. Actually, I was actually looking at the event page comment stream.
Terry Leigh Britton has come up with a wonderful comment. Terry Leigh Britton, who is a master of video technology, he's been a mentor to myself also in the last couple years. Said he never thought about using Google servers. Terry, if you want to come into the HOA and share this wonderful moment with us, let me know, and I will. You can put a comment in the event stream, which I should be watching, but I'm not. If you
I'm watching it. So
okay, if you want to come in, Terry, let me know, and we'll send you an invite to come in. So I published this in January 1978. It's the only time in my life where I've had a staff of people. It took 15 folks, 16 folks, including myself, to publish that magazine. And on the 11th edition, in November, December of 1978, we made a profit on a magazine that month, and it was unheard of to make a profit in the publishing business that early in life, in the life of the magazine, and also just in small business itself to be able to make a profit in your 11th month, particularly with a staff of 15 people. Do you know, Vivek, that Amazon, the massive gorilla that it is, still has not made a profit? Did you know that?
Yeah, it's a mystery.
It's the most fascinating business model that has ever been created. That's gone on and on, and still does not generate a profit.
Mm.
Obviously one of the most successful business models. I guess it's because of the tremendous costs of the technology infrastructure that has to be built to present Amazon. But that's a whole other story. So the other dream that I had early on in my publishing career was that I wanted to publish my own book. I wanted to come up with a business idea, and I wanted to not only write the book, author the book, but I also wanted to publish the book. I wanted to manufacture the book itself and market the book for sale, because that's what a publisher does. Does Terry Lay have another thing that we need to talk about?
No, he just says he knows what a
Oh,
densitometer is.
he knows what a densitometer is. Oh, I've never finished that story, Terry. This magazine that I published in January of 1978, the gentleman who was printing the magazine for me, he bought his first densitometer in late 1977 so he could publish my magazine. He had never bought a densitometer. I was responsible for him buying his first densitometer. Terry will appreciate that, because I don't even know if densitometers exist anymore. So I wanted to publish my own book, and I wanted to come up with the idea, and it was in August of actually July of 2007, when, no, it was early summer 2007. My son Jordan said to me, "Dad," he said, "you're not." At that time he was a sophomore in the Ohio State Fisher School of Business, a management student, and said, a marketing student, and he said, "Dad, you're not positioning yourself right, you're not branding yourself right, and subsequently you're not marketing yourself right." I said, "Okay, Jordan, I'm game. What do I need to do?" So we that summer 2007, we developed a strategy. Jordan was the driving force behind the kind of the strategy, and of course I was working with him on how are we going to deliver that strategy, how are we going to make it happen. And so that was kind of the start. And then that summer I was meeting on a regular basis with a friend. We started out Monday mornings, 8 o'clock Monday mornings that summer. We sat outside of a coffee shop, and for an hour or 90 minutes we just brainstormed. We shared ideas. She would kind of get me motivated about some things. I would get her motivated about some things going on in her business. And she said one Monday morning, "David, you need to go home and write a book." So I went home that day and I started to organize this book, and literally 100 days later I was holding the book up in front of a live streaming internet camera like I am doing right now. 100 days. It was the most exciting, interesting experience to totally focus on that. I stepped away from the rest of the world, everything. Fortunately, I was living by myself, and I didn't have family responsibilities at that time. But it was a great experience, and I sat down with a printing friend of mine, a gentleman who I had met actually on the State of Ohio Small Business Advisory Council, which I served on for 3 years. And I said, "Jack, I want you to help me manufacture this book. I'll obviously use your expertise as a printer, and then together we'll create an entity, a book that I can market and sell and make a profit on it." We did that. Great, wonderful experience. The only criticism I got two criticisms about the book. There were a couple typos, but the other criticism I got was I designed the book as a workbook, and there's white space there, so the small business owner could read the book, look at the 749 questions that were done in 5 different chapters, and say, geez, I never thought about that for my business. That's an important thing. And start to take some notes and say, I need to talk to my business strategist, my marketing person, my Vivek, my banker, my insurance guy, my lawyer, my accountant, whoever it needed, whoever was a member of that small business owner's team, to get an answer, start to get an answer to that question. And along the way, a lot of folks came to me and said, David, well, you didn't give us the answer then. How about giving me the answer now? I said, well, okay. So hold that thought, because it plays into what we're going to talk about in a moment. Okay, so along the way, there was some other really exciting publishing experiences in my life, and I'm trying to remember, chronologically speaking, which happened first. This happened first. I met with, it was in December, I don't know what date it was. Can't remember, it was about 5 years ago. About 5 years ago, I met with Michael Gerber. Michael Gerber is one of the most prolific business authors of all time, and his book, The E-Myth, is one of the most quoted business books, if not the most quoted business book, and it was written, now it's 27 years ago. I had an opportunity to visit with Michael for 3 days in his dreaming room, where we talked about the E-Myth, and we talked about my book. And what a wonderful experience that was for me to have that. That was a defining moment, certainly in my life. It was that was in December, and the following October, September or October, I think it might have been September, I had an opportunity to meet with Brian Tracy one-on-one. Brian and I were 2 of 32 or 33 authors that participated in this collaborative book effort, Business Strategies for Explosive Growth in the New Economy. What a thrill it was for me to be on the cover of this book with Brian, and then to meet him. It was almost a year after the book was published that I met him. The book received a Quilly Award by the National Academy of Best-Selling Authors. The book was a best-selling book, and what a thrilling publishing opportunity that was for me. And I wrote chapter 23 of that book, and Brian and I had a chance to talk about it, and what a great publishing experience that was. Then, let's see. I think that brings us to today, Vivek. Yes, that brings us to today. You heard me say that the major criticism I got on this book was that I didn't give answers to the 749 questions. So as I was developing my business plan for this year, for 2015, and I started on it 6 months ago, literally, I decided that one of my business objectives for 2015 was going to be to publish a video book. I actually called it originally a digital video book. I put 3 words together, just kind of made them up. There was no business model, if you will, what a digital video book was to look like. It could take on a lot of things. Digital publishing is the biggest thing that I have seen in my 40+ years of publishing. just the way that something is published today and marketed today versus how it was 40 years ago when I got started. Uh, the publishing industry itself didn't change too much for over 30 years. It was, you know, some innovation here and there, not a whole lot, but digital publishing, that's when things started happening differently. And in digital publishing, one thing that it did was create millions and millions of publishers, because now anybody could use existing technology and publish it. We publish blogs. We publish videos. I now have over 800 YouTube videos about small business information and entrepreneurship. Those are my two themes. And anybody can be a digital publisher. I think maybe because there are so many opportunities now technology has created, it becomes a little more challenging to market that book. It's easy from just making it happen, but how are you going to generate sales if you're trying to monetize whatever it is that you're publishing? Obviously, that's the challenge of any business. We might have a great business idea that brings value to people's lives, but if we can't sell it, it's not a business. It's an idea, and it's the business that obviously generates cash flow, generates revenue for your business, and depending upon how you operate your business, that will determine how much profit there is in your business, and profit goes back to you in the forms of that's how you live your life, and part of the decision is always putting money back into your business to make it continue to grow and develop. That's what business is all about. So digital publishing, key transition. Vivek, before we actually talk about the book itself, I'd like you to spend a few moments to take us through our dreamingwithentrepreneurs.com website. And okay. If you want me to talk about the business aspects of it, I will, but point out the technology and why we did certain things that we did. Okay?
Why we did what we did.
You've taught me about the why, how important it was to ask the question why. Always ask the question why.
Yeah, Google Apps for Work is what many businesses, small businesses in particular, can use, and that gives you a lot of features, a lot of Gmail with your branding for a start, Google Calendar with your branding, and then it also allows you to host a website as part of the subscription that you pay to Google, which is $5 a month. So
$5 to have a website hosted and all the other good stuff.
And the point then after that is it's so easy to build it, and it's so and it is when you build it properly, it is very fast to load. I've seen websites which hardly have any images or media or any of that, but still load very slowly, and that is one of the major drawbacks of WordPress. WordPress kind of forces the business owner to know quite a lot about HTML and XML and all the rest of it. Whereas this one, you don't need to and do any of that. You just they give you a graphic interface. You go and edit. So let me take you through a Terry.
Yeah,
Terry has this comment.
Terry says $5 per month for Google hosting. Isn't it interesting, Vivek, that something so simple and so basic that has been there for a long time, and Terry, as knowledgeable as he is about the technology and everything that's available, and he is one of the most resourceful people that I've ever met. We've taught him something today. I think he's building a Google website right now, Vivek.
Quite possible. One thing is, Google as such does not advertise it as such. That's one of the people can say it's a drawback, but I would say it's there. It can be one of the strengths. But anyway, let me take you quickly through the website tour. Okay, I hope everyone can see the. David, you have pinned me, or you haven't pinned anybody?
Yeah,
or
let me pin you. There you go.
Okay, this is David's Dreaming with Entrepreneurs website, which is part of his Google Apps for Work subscription. It has been built on Google servers. So this is the homepage, and these are the videos he has created. This is a pledge that he created, not created.
You better not give me credit for
it. This is this video explains why David is doing what he is doing. So this very well explains why. Why is David building this website? Why is David doing what he is doing? And this one is a welcome message, and then these are the images David has been pointing to all of you in his background there. It's on his website as well, and his mentor, David Emerland. Then yeah, the prominently there are two buttons there. One to join David's Dreaming with Entrepreneurs on Google Plus community. The other is,
by the way, Vivek, I don't know if you've been paying attention. We are very, very quickly approaching our 1,000th member. How cool is that? How fun is that?
And this is a button which would take you to David's Google Plus profile. The point, okay, April 21st, Google is going to penalize all the websites who are not mobile friendly. Well, this website is built to be mobile friendly.
Talk about that, Vivek, because it is absolutely one of the most important concepts in development of a website. And talk a little bit about, if you would, Google's position on that.
Yeah, let me. Google's position. Google says when a person browses or does a search on his or her mobile device, and that is key, on a mobile device, that person will be more and more shown websites which are mobile friendly. So if your website is not mobile friendly and it looks horrible on a mobile device, and even though you may have spent a lot of money trying to get it to page 1 of Google, there's no such thing as that anymore, but still People have spent a lot of time, effort, money, and so on doing all the SEO and all that. If your website is not mobile friendly, Google will knock it off the first page, or at least your website will not be featured prominently, and the other website which are mobile friendly will be appearing at the top of the search. So that's on the mobile device. On a desktop it's a slightly different story, but if you have done the work on making it appear on the so-called page one, it would probably continue, but it would still probably will at some stage Google probably will say the any website which is mobile friendly would probably also carry a label saying this website is mobile friendly. So if your website is not mobile friendly, you will not have that label, and so people probably will move over to mobile friendly websites. So okay,
Vivek, I'd like you to do two things if you would.
mm-hmm.
While you're doing one of them right now, you're going from the desktop version of the website to what it will look like mobile on a mobile device.
Mm-hmm.
It's an exercise that you and I, well, you do it all the time, but it's an exercise that you and I went through many times as we were developing the site, and so the folks are seeing exactly what that means and how that works. The other thing I'd like you to do is run that Google test, which is load time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's very important, because in today's world, if your website does not load in the right amount of time, you're not going to get visitors to your website. There's millions and zillions and trillions of website pages, and it's got to get there quickly. So right now, Vivek is running a test, and we're going to show you how our front page loads. So we got an 85 on the desktop, is that right?
Yeah, 84 out of 100.
Oh, on the 84, and then you haven't done mobile yet.
Mobile is 65 for 65 out of 100 for
actually,
speed.
That's okay. It's actually telling us, because we were running better numbers, so we made some changes. So we'll have to take a look at that to see what we can do to make it load faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
85 isn't bad, but we need to get it up to what score do you think?
Yeah, it would be probably 90 would be better, but
okay, well, obviously it'll be better. Okay, so right there,
on the mobile test, there is one more thing which they do, which is user experience.
Good score, Vivek. You don't get much better than that.
99 out of 100. So this is based on the type of buttons you have on the website, the relative positioning, and so on. So that is speed test. What else? Okay, this is your website. You want me to? Okay, these are the videos. As I said, these get repositioned depending on whether it is a mobile device or not. And
okay, so we still have some development work to do to get that score higher, but we're absolutely headed in the right direction. And let me talk a little bit about why, from a marketing standpoint, some of the decisions that we had to make on the site. We wanted it to be as simple as we possibly could.
Mm.
That's obviously one of the major requirements. Also, it had to be designed in such a fashion that there will be a video, at least one video, on every page.
Mm-hmm.
Videos are important. People have a tendency to watch a video more readily than they will read something. They would rather watch it and read it, and we're glad that that's the approach that they take, because we love to do videos. I love to produce a video more so than I like to write. So it's a great thing for me, and we're into the flow of things because of that. So those were some of the business decisions from a marketing perspective that we took. And I don't know if there's anything else to say, but maybe it's a good segue into the video book.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
do you want to bring that screen share back up and click on the tab video book? And by the way, thank you, Terry, for your input to all the different comments that you're making in the event stream. It's greatly appreciated, and thank you for taking your time to come in and listen and mentor. You've done a lot of mentoring to me over the last couple of years.
Yeah, so this is the video book from Dreaming with Entrepreneurs. This is the page that would
You want to
show
take that back to desktop, so it might be a little
Okay.
easier to discuss.
Okay.
There we go, because video book is up there as a. Okay, so we've got. Oh, that's actually our homepage. Go back to the video book. There you go. Okay, here we are on the video book. I've explained what it is that we're trying to accomplish in each one of these boxes, and the first box there explains just the overall concept of the book. Very important. The most important thing to take away from that box is the fact we made a business decision, purely business, that the best way to sell the book was going to produce it on a website. We wanted the website to look very, very similar to our Dreaming with Entrepreneurs website, to develop consistency, because the concepts are very directly related, and certainly from a business perspective, it was the right thing to do. And Vivek and I had a lot of discussions on how should the video book website, how should it look? And as recently as yesterday, we made some decisions along those lines. Is that right, Vivek?
Yes, and just a couple of minutes ago, I had to make a little small change here. This button is, you probably have not seen it.
Look at this. While we are talking, here's the beauty of what is happening. While we are talking, Vivek left the discussion and made a change to the site, to the website, to the video book. Oh my goodness. You rock, Vivek. Okay, you want to scroll down to the table of contents. Okay, the concept of the book is that every month there will be at least 6 new chapters introduced. I had phase 1 of the book, which you're looking at. The March table of contents is basically phase one of the book. In a moment, we'll show you what's going to happen in April, which was phase two of the book. And then I'll talk about phase three of the book, which will, I'll start to do the production of the book in the next week or two. We have to actually put April together the same way that we put March together. But we learned a lot on how to put March together, so actually putting April together will be very simple. You agree with that statement, Vivek?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we did all the hard work in developing the design concept and building.
Explain this page a bit, David. What does this button do? Tell me.
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so because of the fact that we made the business decision, I made the business decision that I'm not going to sell the book as a book. What I'm going to do is produce the book, publish the book on a website, and sell what we're going to sell is access to that website on a monthly basis. So if you see up above, monthly access will cost $4.99, and we're giving folks the opportunity, once they read this, to subscribe right away. Now, it's very important to note, when you subscribe, you are doing two things. You're giving $4.99 for that month, so you have access to the content, the book. Not only will you get access to the content of that month, you'll have access to all the content that has been produced up until that month. So in April, not only will you get the new April content, you will have access to pull up what was done in March. And that process will go on forever, we hope, right? Right, Vivek?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
as a viewer, when you come to this page, and if you click on that button, then you would be setting up a PayPal recurring payment.
Monthly recurring payments, so that it's assumed that you will want to continue your subscription for the next month. If you do not want to continue your subscription for whatever the reason, you will always have the opportunity to cancel. Your PayPal account will build on the first of every month. You may cancel at any time without penalty. Just simply tell us, I don't want a subscription anymore, and it'll go away. We will go in and you can go into your PayPal account and just say, I don't want it anymore, or you can tell us, I don't know, can they say to us, Vivek, and we tell them? Yes. So there's two ways you can cancel. You can go into your PayPal account yourself and just say, I don't want those payments anymore. Simple process. It'll take you 5 minutes to do. Or you can tell us that you want to cancel, and we can do it for you. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Okay. March table of contents. I want to go back up there, Vivek, because I want to spend a little bit of time thanking those folks who and talking about it. March Chapter 1, Small Business Strategy. Had a wonderful discussion with my friend Jim Shankle. Jim Shankle is one of the most successful entrepreneurs I have ever met, and by the way, I met him in Google+. And not only has he been a successful entrepreneur businessman, but he teaches business strategy as a graduate course in a college in Arkansas, where he lives. And so I could not have made a better decision than to ask Jim to talk about small business strategy. Chapter 2, Small Business Marketing and Sales. My marketing and sales mentor, David Amerlin, spent time with, this goes back several months ago, and we talked about very key points about where was marketing and sales going to happen in 2015. Marketing and sales, they are the the key components to any business. Are, can you market your business? Can you communicate the message of your business? But if you can't make a sale, then you don't have a business. You have a whatever it is you have. You have an avocation. And so I had a wonderful discussion with David on just marketing and sales. He is one of the foremost experts in the entire world on marketing and sales. And I wanted to thank him for that. Actually, we're going to talk about David in a second or two. Chapter 3, Small Business Technology. I asked two friends, folks that I met in Google+. You met Vivek today, if you haven't met him before. And the other technology guru was William Rock. William Rock is an expert on Google Analytics. He is also very much well, and that implies search engine optimization, and also he understands technology even from a very high level security situation. You will, in that particular chapter 3, you'll hear some things about technology, about security and technology in today's world. Chapter 4, Money Matters. Barbara Weltman, who is recognized not necessarily by me, certainly by me, but by the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Small Business Administration, even the IRS recognizes Barbara as America's #1 small business tax expert. And Barbara has been a friend of mine for 7 or 8 years now. We've actually been streaming on the internet together for 7 or 8 years. I don't even know how long it's been. And she has been a very wonderful support person for me. Barbara, on a daily basis. I start my day every single day by Barbara's small business tip of the day. Idea of the day is what she calls it. And she is the author of a whole series of books. It's known as 15th or 16th Year Small Business Taxes.
David, I think you need to unpin me.
No, I'm not worried about that. That's okay. Barbara, and you can, well, go to the chapter and you'll see it. Barbara, every year, Barbara, I'm one of the first producers of a video, and Barbara shares her expertise of that year, and we launch her book into Google for sure by the HOA that we do every year. We've been doing that since Barbara and I have known one another. Okay, that was chapter 4, and then in the month of March, I also am introducing what I call bonus chapters. Bonus chapter number 1, which is chapter 5 in the book, is David Amerlin published several months ago this book, SEO Help.
No, I think, David, I think people are seeing me rather the screen share because you have pinned me. That's what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. That's what you're saying. I didn't understand you. Okay. David published this book, SEO Help, 20 Semantic Search Steps. It is absolutely a must-read book for you because David is the #1 authority in Google world and the world on semantic search. And he has published this book, 20 Semantic Search Steps. If you follow step by step, and he is very, very clear on what you need to do to get your site, your blog, whatever it is that you're trying to do, get it recognized. So David, being the friend he is, um, and this goes back about what, about 6 weeks ago, maybe a month, 4 or 5 weeks ago, whatever it was. I asked David to do an HOA with me to criticize where we were in our website development at that time. You can go back to and watch it, watch that HOA. And actually, it'd be kind of interesting to watch it because based upon what David had to say, Vivek and I made changes to the website. Pure and simple. When the expert tells you that's what you need to do, listen to the expert. So we made those changes, and it was a great HOA. And then
Terry says, yeah, you already have a subscriber, David.
Oh, Terry Lay Britton, we love it. Do subscribe how the subscription process proceeds. I have subscribed but have no login. Why don't you take that over? Why don't you talk about that, Vivek?
Yeah, that is, we are putting together an automated process, but it's not up yet. At the moment, David would have to do a few things manually and then give those details to you, Terry.
That's what he's asking. Terry, under Vivek's recommendation, and it was a great recommendation, I will give you access to the book, to the website, but I have to do it. I'm the only one. Well, Vivek can do it because he's an administrator also, but either he or I will give you access, and I will send you a link. I will get the information that you have subscribed, then I will send you, I will actually share with you a Google Doc, right? A Google page, right, Vivek?
Yeah, no. What at the moment what I'm working on is making it easier. So that's a two-way process. One is making it accessible. The other is the authorization, if you will, that you will do. And the other one is I'm trying to make it easier to access from the Dreaming with Entrepreneurs website itself. So
make sure you only make it accessible to people who pay for it, Vivek.
Yes, yes.
No, I'm just joking. Terry, to best answer your question, since all of this is basically a system that Vivek is building. I mean, this this whole thing didn't exist. We're building the system where a lot of it is manual, and as we understand the needs of you, Terry, folks like yourself who are actually subscribing, we'll be doing a lot of manual things. Hopefully for only 30 days. And then we'll have a process, an automated process in place. But we can't put that automated process in place till we totally understand how people coming into the system need it to work for themselves. I think it was thanks to you two that I knew about the pre-order for David Amerman's SEO book back in February. It's already in my Android Kindle app. I look forward. Terry, you'll enjoy it because not only will you enjoy it because you know David, you know his thinking, you know the kinds of stuff that he writes, but you'll understand the technology step-by-step process that David puts in very, very simple terms. Okay, I think we're down to chapter 6. Vivek, you want to bring that back up again? And I'm going to quickly go over the April edition, then we're going to close this HOA.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to bring that. Okay, you want to see this?
Just go back to the
Yeah,
video book tab.
yeah.
There we
I'm
go.
showing that.
That's what I want. Okay, so scroll down a little bit. We're at, I talked about chapter 5. Chapter 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to differentiate. Oh no, chapter 5 was just you and I. No, I didn't actually tell that story right. Chapter 5 was you and I without David's input.
Mm.
We were actually reading from his book. That's what we did. We were reading from his book point by point on chapter 10 in his book, which is website design. You
Mm.
and I went down the list and said, okay, these are the things we need to focus on. Then in chapter 6, that was a discussion with David where we actually then, he looked at what was done and then made his comments. Okay, so that is essentially the March table of contents. Let's quickly go down into April. So you'll see, and within 2 weeks maximum, Vivek and I will have this chapter in place. A group discussion on small business strategy with Zara Altair, Stan Bush, Ken Manesi. It was a wonderful discussion with these 3 individuals, all of whom have a wonderful grasp based upon years of experience about small business strategy. We had a group discussion on what I call traditional social marketing, and that discussion was with friends Chef Dennis Litley, Kathy Brown, and Susan Finch. I called it traditional social marketing. You'll understand once I get into it, because we talk about a lot of very traditional concepts of marketing. There is an interaction, and it's an important one that you need to understand in your businesses. I call myself a very traditional marketer, a very traditional direct marketer. This is what I've been doing for over 40 years. I need mentoring with folks like Vivek from a technology perspective. Folks like, I'm trying to look at the list there. That second list there, um, uh, Brooke Ballard, Jess Duell, and Dustin South, they are 3 individuals who are very deeply engrossed in social media, social marketing, and they have all taught me different aspects of things that I need to be doing. It's a great 1-hour discussion I had with these 3 individuals. Moving on to, I had a powerhouse discussion on marketing technology with a Google bent, because all 4 of those folks have made a major impact in their businesses in the Google world. Ronnie Bincer, who is the Hangout on Air master. He is the #1 expert on Hangouts on Air. Christine DeGraff has been involved in technology for years. She even, in the early part of her career, wrote code. And today, not only is she a leading personality in Google Plus, but she and some partners have created a technology called CircleScope, and she talks about it in that particular discussion. But it's a very wonderful technology that teaches us where we are in social media. What's the impact? What's our presence in Google Plus? It's a great technology. Ben Fisher has a company, and that's all that he does. Well, I don't know that it's all that he does, but he is a very technology driven individual who totally understands marketing and how to best market your business and using technology to do a big, broad scope, because that's what he does. The same thing about Jason Weiser. Uh, uh, this Jason, uh, I'm just in awe of the knowledge and the things that Jason does and shares, and all of these folks have businesses based around technology and marketing. So I have four wonderful friends in that area, and it was a great HOA. Group discussion on video marketing with Terry Lay Britton. Terry, you met today in the event stream. You already have a sense of what he does. I was actually talking with Terry over a year ago, a year and a half ago, about different video technologies that could be used in Hangouts on Air and Hangouts and video marketing. Scott Scowcroft has developed a wonderful business for himself, built around a concept called the Scott treatment. I am very happy and honored to say that I was with Scott on day one of the development of his business, and offering my expertise from a marketing and sales perspective. So Scott does a wonderful job in taking an HOA, or any video for that matter, it doesn't have to be an HOA, YouTube, and breaking it down into nuggets, if you will, 2 to 3 minute presentation. So you're taking your big discussion, your big video, and breaking it down that you can use for marketing. And it's a wonderful tool that he has developed. And Jeff boy, he is. If you watch a Jeff Say produced video, you'll just be, your breath will be taken away. His expertise and his knowledge, how he does it. He is an expert on Pinterest and has developed a whole branding for himself on it. And I was very fortunate and honored to be able to get Jeff to contribute to that discussion on video marketing. A discussion on small business branding and small business marketing research. Interesting enough, Dan Krass and John Fox are friends of mine in Cincinnati, in the city where I live. Something probably not very typical in Google world, because Google world exists all over the world. Just like Vivek and I have developed a friendship. Vivek lives in the UK. I live 5,000 miles away from him. We have never met personally, face to face. We will someday, won't we, Vivek? But we talk. We talk almost every day. We have video chatting every day, where we develop something, talk about something, collaborate with one another on our businesses, whatever that might be. But Dan and John actually live in Cincinnati. I've known John for over 20 years. Of all the folks that I asked to develop chapters with me, John I've known the longest, and he is the most outstanding small business marketing research, marketing-based research, research-based marketing individual that I have ever met. Oh, the Scott treatment, and yes, David, you were with me from day one. Scott rocks. You've got to go see what Scott does. Well, you can hear him, you can watch him. He does a weekly HOA with Jess, another individual who contributed to the book. You heard me talk about Jess a little bit earlier, but
And here's another comment from Terry. He says, I assume this will be massively successful, for which we will definitely want an automated process.
Okay, Terry, to your comment, from your mouth to God's ears, and then from your mouth to Vivek's ears, because God will make the big thing happen, and Vivek will make it. Will develop the system that automates it. Thank you, Terry. It's a wonderful comment. Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Let's
you're
let's
back on the
let me wrap.
screen.
If you go back to the okay, there we go. So Dan and John, we had a wonderful discussion on branding. Dan has a vast experience with branding here in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is people don't know much about it, but because of the presence of Procter and Gamble and a few other companies corporately located here in Cincinnati, it is a branding mecca. Actually, John got his career started at Procter and Gamble years and years ago, and left and has been doing his own thing for the last 20 plus years, 25 years. He was doing his business thing before I actually met him. And then Dan, and much the same. So wonderful discussion on branding, small business research. How do you put those two together? What research can you do to learn about branding and how you can brand for yourself? Then I had a discussion with a longtime friend of mine, bonus chapter, Dr. Charles Matthews. Chuck started the Department of Entrepreneurship at the University of Cincinnati. He and I have been friends for over 5 years, 6 years maybe. He has a reputation all over the world for his knowledge and his ability to share that knowledge and communicate that knowledge on entrepreneurship. And the biggest challenge I have with Chuck is finding time that he and I can have discussions. But in that chapter, I actually went to his office at the University of Cincinnati, and we tried something out. You get great information, but the technology wasn't the end product. You see too much of me and not enough of Chuck, but you hear Chuck in the background. We tried something out. Actually, Chuck suggested it, and if we had to do it over, we would do it a different way. But anyways, he is one of the world-renowned experts on entrepreneurship, and he will be doing more bonus chapters with me along the way. A wonderful friend, and thank you, Chuck. And then several months ago, I did an HOA before I even started to put the book together with Eric Engie. Eric has built his reputation inside of Google Plus and outside of Google Plus as an expert on all of those things that happen inside of technology, and how can you apply those things to your business and make them work for your business. And there's a lot of things going on. But there was a side of Eric that we didn't hear too much. We don't hear too much about, and I wanted to explore that side with him, and that's the entrepreneurial side of Eric. He has a wonderful, wonderful story to tell. Not only is the story itself wonderful, but he spends a lot of time talking about the importance of entrepreneurs and small business owners establishing revenue streams that might not apply directly to your business as such, the business that you're marketing in the world, but they are revenue streams that you need to put into your business so your business can continue to run and grow, develop and grow. Eric is a very, very successful entrepreneur, and just listening to him in that hour of discussion that we had, you'll understand very clearly why he is so successful. So that's what's going to happen in April. So if you subscribe in April, not only will you get these discussions, but you'll have access to the March discussions, which are already available to you. That's the concept. Oh my goodness, I could go on and on forever, couldn't I, Vivek? One
Yeah.
final.
Rain Dowell has, she made a comment a while ago. She's listening as she's working, she says, and she loves the concept.
And we love you, Rain. And Rain has already agreed, and it's a good segue. Thank you, Rain. It's a good segue into what I'm calling phase 3 of the book. And just as exciting as phase 1 and phase 2 have been, phase 3 is going to go on forever. It'll never end until I can't produce HOAs anymore for whatever the reason might be. And that is, I am going to have hundreds, if not thousands, of 15-minute discussions with subject matter experts like Rain. And we will talk about a single topic, explore that topic for 15 minutes. I'll put a clock up, and the clock will go off at 15. I'll have Vivek do that for me, too. He's good on that. And we'll have a 15-minute discussion where we will get to the bottom line of that question so that you will learn in 15 minutes things that will help and improve your business, because I'm calling on subject matter experts like Rain to do it. So the point here is, I may not know you right now. I know a lot of folks. Our community is 1,000 strong. Our Dreaming with Entrepreneurs in Google Plus is almost 1,000 folks. So those are the folks that I know something about. If I don't know you yet, and you want me to know you, and you would like to contribute to our book with a 15-minute discussion, please let me know. And it's pretty obvious how you get in touch with me. There's a million. I'm pretty transparent, aren't I, Vivek? Just don't make my computer ring in the middle of the night. We know that happens too, don't we? Because I forget to turn it off. Okay, that's we're going to wrap up for today. Any final comments you'd like to make, Vivek?
Not really. We are still developing a few concepts to make it automated and so on. So
bear with us.
Yeah, bear with us. But yeah,
and it plays into my theory about business and my business and what I've been doing for the last 40 years. I am always a work in progress. I want to learn something new every single day that will make my business better today than it was yesterday. And tomorrow, I want to find something else that's going to enhance the process. So I've been a work in progress for as long as I've known me. and that's how I will continue to grow and develop, because I'm obligated. But going back to, I guess we're not completing. If you remember, Vivek was talking about the Entrepreneur Pledge, and it explains why I do what I do. Please take I don't know how long it was, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Go and listen to that pledge. It hits the spirit, the feeling of entrepreneurship better than anything that I have ever read. And it brings a chill to me every time I read that pledge, because it describes me to a T. And what it says there is, I have an obligation. I have an obligation as a mentor, because I am here today after 40 plus years of doing stuff. I'm here today because of folks like Vivek, folks like all the people I've mentioned today. by name. All those folks have helped me grow and develop and bring their expertise and their knowledge. And I am obligated because of that to share those stories with the rest of the world so that you in your small business can move forward and develop and tell your story and share your story so that you can bring, we keep this process going and it'll never end. It'll never end. And it's all about small business collaboration. And our video book is going to be the most dynamic small business collaboration ever created because it's never going to stop. It's always going to keep going. And I want to thank all of those folks, and I mentioned them all by name, folks who helped in the process. So I'm out of wind, Vivek. One way to make it stop to say thank you for your time. Subscribe to our video book. And one thing I didn't mention, it's in writing, but I didn't mention it. All net proceeds to the book will go into the Small Biz David Foundation. And you're going to learn more about once we put the book together and all the systems together, and we've got that going. You'll start to learn more about the Small Biz David Foundation and what our mission is and what our vision is. It is exciting, and it's gonna it takes all this to make it happen. So. We're just getting going. This is step one, or step 101. I don't know what step it is, but it's ongoing, and we're going to keep it going, and it keeps it going because of folks like yourself, and we thank you for that. My name is Small Biz David, and I will see you the next time, which may very well be the best time. See you then.